Without reinforced concrete, how could a bridge stand for over 1,400 years without collapsing? How exactly did our ancestors achieve this? In the beginning, people placed stone piers into the river and laid stone slabs on top so they could cross the water. It was like putting a long wooden bench across the river, so it was called a bench bridge. However, bench bridges could only span narrow rivers. Once the river became too wide, the stone slabs would easily bend and break. At this point, the clever you thought of adding more stone piers to shorten the span of the bridge deck. But this created new problems. Too many piers blocked the passage of boats, and during floods, they were easily washed away, severely affecting transportation. Later, while exploring a cave, you discovered that although the cave was hollow, it did not collapse. This was likely due to the cave's unique arch structure. Inspired by this, you decided to imitate the shape of the cave and build a stone arch on both riverbanks using stone blocks. However, during construction, you found that gaps always appeared between the stones. Even if these gaps were filled with sand and gravel, the stone arch could still collapse due to uneven forces. So, you cut each stone into a wedge shape, wide at the top and narrow at the bottom. In this way, when the arch was completed, the stones locked tightly together. As they pressed against each other, the force was transferred along the arch to the abutments on both sides of the river. This not only made the arch bridge much more stable, but also eliminated the need for multiple piers, allowing boats and floodwaters to pass through smoothly. However, the earliest stone arch bridges were semicircular. Although their span was larger, the semicircle was too tall, making the bridge deck rise like a small hill. This made it very inconvenient for pedestrians, carts, and horses to go up and down. So, you boldly innovated. By changing the cutting angles of the stones, you flattened the tall semicircular arch into a bow-shaped arch. To prevent the stones from loosening or shifting, you connected them in pairs with iron waist clamps, turning the entire structure into a strong, unified whole. As a result, the bridge deck became both stable and level. Just when you thought all the problems had been solved, a flood struck the river. Although the large arch opening could discharge water, the flood was so fierce that the bridge still faced the risk of being washed away. To solve this, you carved two smaller arch openings on both sides of the main arch. When floods came, these smaller arches could divert the water and also reduce the weight of the bridge, making the entire structure lighter and more stable. Then you realized that strength alone was not enough. The bridge also needed protection, so you carved dragon heads on both sides of the arch crown. These were not merely decorations. During heavy rain, water could flow out from the dragon's mouths, just like real dragons spitting water. This not only protected the bridge from erosion, but also expressed people's wish for the river to be guarded and for lasting peace and safety. Congratulations! This is how you designed the world's first bridge, the Zhaozhou Bridge. For more than 1,400 years, it has endured countless floods, wars, and earthquakes, yet it still stands today. Truly a well-deserved engineering miracle.